Dr. Robert Mellamede has stated that the appropriate regular ingestion of cannabinoids as a preventative for the development of age-related illnesses such as cardiovascular disease and cannabis would be a prudent course of action to follow. What is your comment?
The bottom line is Bob Malameda said that getting high every day would be really helpful. Is that what you're saying?
For age-related illnesses such as cardiovascular disease and cancer.
Greg, you've got those animal data on that, right?
Yes. You know, we've clearly shown, if you look at our ALS mice models, and we looked at physical performance, primarily muscle contractility, life expectancy, nerve conduction velocity, all of those parameters were significantly improved in the mice that were treated daily with cannabinoids. Bob is an excellent scientist. He's very gregarious in his nature. I do think, actually, in terms of an aging population, we're all looking for something to help us age. Dr. Abrams mentioned Alzheimer's. I do think that cannabis is and has huge potential to help people age. It also treats arthritis, not just the pain associated with arthritis, but it inhibits cytokines. It works through an interleukin pathway, much like the tumor necrosis factor, anti-tumor necrosis factor medications. Again, you know, if you really delve into this, it's just frankly amazing. I'm still learning more about the mechanisms of action, but yeah, I do think there is some validity to that. Now, Dr. Earle, mentioned getting high every day. I always tell my patients, and this is an important fact, that medically speaking, and I have a lot of patients who never used marijuana recreationally in the 60s or what have you, but now are struck with some illness where they need some help. Now, you don't have to be high to get a medical benefit from cannabis. I always preface that by saying if you want to get high, that's your business, but medically speaking, 3 or 4 vaporized inhalations, very safe way to use the medicine, you're going to get a medical benefit. You're going to get pain relief, you're going to get reduced spasticity, ALS patients are going to dry out their mouth, it's going to improve their appetite, it's going to alleviate their depression, and they're still functional.
In short, you agree?
Yes.
Okay.
Long answer.
So with regards to cancer, I just want to say that there's 3 interesting pieces of evidence. One from the National Toxicology Program, looking at mice and rats that were given increasing dosages of THC, and at the end of 2 years, those at the highest dose lived longer and had fewer tumors, both benign and malignant, than the control animals. Kaiser did a large study of men smoking tobacco, cannabis, both or neither, and published that in 1997, Steve Sidney, a medical school classmate, that the patients who smoked marijuana had fewer cases of lung cancer in 10 years of follow-up than the patients who smoked neither. And then Donald Tashkin, a friend and colleague at UCLA who's made his whole career out of looking for the damaging effects of marijuana on the lungs, last year published 1,353 cases of lung cancer in LA that patients who did have regular marijuana use had a 26% reduction in the risk of lung cancer compared to those who did not smoke cannabis. Sort of like saying that the earth is a triangle, but that's the, you know, it's an antioxidant and an anti-inflammatory, and probably has anti-cancer activity in other ways as well.
So would you agree that daily, regular ingestion of appropriate...
I don't know what the right dose is. I can't, can't.
Thank you all very much. I luckily have the microphone. My name is Matthew Abel. I'm a lawyer in Michigan, and we're really going to be pleased to have medical marijuana law there soon, and we hope you'll all come and participate. I'm also really excited about the specialty that's being developed in cannabinoid research. I have 2 questions. One is, I guess you can't overdose by smoking it. I've really tried. But I was wondering about tinctures, sudorics, edibles, those type of things. Has any research been done? Can you really overdo it in that way, aside from having to sleep too long? does it have any negative effect on your body? And my other question is, I was struck by a comment, Doc, you made about endorphins and the endocannabinoid receptors are similar to the high you get when you're a marathon runner or something like that. And is that an endorphin? Are the cannabinoids endorphins, or is there something different, or is that way too technical and too nerdy to ask? Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Good question. Cannabinoids are not endorphins. Endorphins are the body's natural version of opiates. So it's really a separate system, and they probably work in concert naturally. There are naturally occurring opiates and naturally occurring cannabinoids. I'll let the panel address the other questions.
But I have to tell you, can I have this?
The runner's high, I don't, that's not the same as a drug high. I know people talk about it like that, but I don't get it. When I run, and
Any other comments?
Well, just with regards to the safety of edibles versus smoke, again, somebody was talking about the lack of cannabinoid receptors, I think, on the brainstem, which is what controls our respiration, and that's why people overdose on opioids, for example, but there are no cannabinoid receptors on brainstem, so you're right, sedation is probably a risk of too many edibles, but you're not going to kill yourself. Again, the LD50 of cannabis is huge.
2 pounds.
Well, please join me in thanking this great panel here today. These are great scientific heroes. They're challenging and making their wisdom in the state as well. So let's enjoy some lunch. We'll be around for questions throughout the conference, and we'll enjoy.